Hello students, welcome to Aarohan classes. In this video, we are going to learn about stoichiometry. What is stoichiometry? Stoichiometry deals with the amount of reactant consumed and amount of product formed in a chemical reaction. Product formed in a chemical reaction. What it really means? It means, suppose we are given a reaction, like this is a reaction of N2 with H2 gives ammonia NH3, and we are given suppose 10 gram of nitrogen or 20 gram of H2, then how much amount of NH3 is formed? First type of question is this: suppose we are given 10 gram of nitrogen, then how much amount of ammonia is formed? In other words, suppose we are given 20 gram of ammonia, then how much amount of nitrogen is reacted? So in this video, we are going to learn about all those things, like how much amount of reactant consumed and how much amount of product is formed in a chemical reaction. Before that, let's see the properties of a chemical reaction. Properties of a balanced chemical reaction. Balanced chemical reaction. What is the property of a balanced chemical reaction? Suppose before that, first we have to balance a chemical reaction. Before finding the number of moles of product formed or number of moles of reactant reacted, before that we first have to balance the chemical reaction. Suppose this is the chemical reaction, N2 plus H2 reacted to form NH3. Before that, we have to balance this reaction. And how to balance? By hit and trial method. Suppose here given 2 nitrogen and here given 3 hydrogen atom. So if we balance it by 3 by 2, then we will get 3 hydrogen. But nitrogen is not balanced, so we have to multiply it by N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. So this is the balanced chemical reaction. So what is the property of a balanced chemical reaction? First property is, in a balanced chemical reaction, number that appear before reactant and product is called coefficient or stoichiometric coefficient. What it means? It means the number which appeared before reactant and product. This is our reactant N2. So this number is coefficient of this H2, and this 2 is the coefficient of this ammonia. And what is the coefficient of N2? Does it means 0 or 1? It will be automatically 1 if it is not mentioned here. So coefficient of this N2 is 1. The first property of a balanced chemical reaction is number that appeared before a stoichiometric in a balanced chemical reaction is called stoichiometric coefficient. First property is that. Second property is what it means. What it really means, like if we are given this, it means that if 1 mole N2 reacted plus 3 mole H2 reacted, then it will form 2 mole of ammonia. If 1 mole of N2 reacted plus 3 mole of H2 reacted, then it will form 2 mole of ammonia. This comes from the coefficient. So if we are given 2 mole of N2, then how many moles of H2 is required and how many moles of ammonia is formed? So if we compare these reaction, if 1 mole of N2 reacted, then 3 mole of ammonia also reacted. So if 2 mole of N2 is reacted, then we need 6 mole of H2, because 1 mole required 3 mole, then 2 mole required 6 mole. Then how much amount of ammonia will be formed? Then ammonia will be formed 2 into 2, 4 mole of ammonia. 4 mole of ammonia. So if we write in a general method, then it means if 2 mole of ammonia, 2 mole of nitrogen, this N means nitrogen. If 2 mole of nitrogen is reacted, then we required 6 mole of hydrogen, and then we required 4 mole of ammonia is formed. So if we have taken 1 mole, then we can write it, if 1 mole of N2 is required, if 1 mole of N2 is required, then we need 3 mole of hydrogen and then 2 mole of ammonia is formed. This is the meaning of a balanced chemical reaction. The first property of a balanced chemical reaction was, in a balanced chemical reaction, the number that appeared before this reactant and product is called coefficient. And the second property is, it means if 1 mole of ammonia N2 reacted, then we require 3 mole of nitrogen and then 2 mole of ammonia is formed. Next, and find the answer of this question. What it is given, calculate the number of moles of KCl and O2 formed if 20 moles of KClO3 is consumed in a reaction. Then pause the video and try this question, and then I will try it for you. I hope everyone has tried this question. What it is given, if KClO3 reacted, then it will form KCl and O2. If we balance this reaction, then we can see that here 2 KClO3 required to form 2 KClO molecule and 3 O2. This is the balanced chemical reaction. And what I have told you, if it means if 2 mole of KClO3 is spent, if 2 mole of KClO3 is spent, it means 2 mole of KCl is formed. KCl is formed, and 3 mole of oxygen is formed. In question it is given, if 20 mole of KClO3 is consumed, then amount of KCl and O2 is formed. Then we have to take these two if we want to find the number of moles of KCl. So if 2 mole of KClO3 is spent, then 2 mole of KCl is formed. Then if 1 mole of KClO3 is spent, then how much mole of KCl is formed? Then 1 mole of KCl is formed. And here we are given 20 mole of KClO3. If 20 mole of KClO3 is spent, then 20 mole of KCl will be formed. 20 mole of KCl will be formed. So what is the amount of KCl? 20 mole. And we have to also find the number of moles of oxygen. So from here we can see that if 2 mole of KClO3 is spent, then 3 mole of O2 is formed. Then if 2 mole of KClO3 is spent, then 3 mole of O2 is formed. If 1 mole of KClO3 is spent, then how much amount of O2 is formed? Then how much amount of O2 is formed? Then 3 by 2 mole of O2 will be formed. And if 20 mole of then answer will be 30 mole. We can find the answer, but problem is this is a very lengthy method. There is a short method. That method is known as mole balancing method. What is this mole balancing method? This is also a method to find the number of moles of reactant consumed and number of moles of product formed, but in a different way. What is that method? First we have to do the same way. First we have to balance the chemical reaction. Suppose if KClO3 is spent, then KCl and O2 is formed. First we have to balance this reaction. Then here its coefficient was 2, and its coefficient was 3. What is mole balancing method? According to mole balancing method, if KClO3 mole of KClO3 spent divided by number of what is the coefficient of KClO3? 2 equals to mole of KCl formed divided by its stoichiometric coefficient. What is its coefficient? It's 2 equals to mole of O2 formed divided by stoichiometric coefficient of this. From this way we can easily find the what is the amount of KClO3 spent, then what is the amount of KCl formed. Like what it is given, mole of KCl formed, we are given 20 mole of KClO3 thereby 2 equal mole of KCl formed divided by 2, it comes out 20 mole of KCl formed. And similarly we can find the number of moles of O2. It comes out to be 30 moles. Here there are 3 questions. Write the mole equation for the following reaction by balancing of mole equation. Balance this reaction and what will be the coefficient of H2, I2 and HI. If we balance this reaction, if we balance first reaction, then what we will get? We will get H2 plus I2 form 2HI. Then what will be the mole equation method? Then mole of H2 reacted. What is the stoichiometric coefficient of H2? It is 1. And for I2 it is also 1. 1 equal mole of I2 reacted divided by its stoichiometric coefficient 1 equal mole of HI formed divided by its stoichiometric coefficient 2.
Next, what is the mole equation for this calcium carbonate reacted to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide? If we balance this reaction, then we will find CaCO3 form CO2 and then this will be 2 CaCO3 form 2 CaO and there will be 2 CaO and 2 CO2. There are 6 oxygen in reactant, it is already balanced in product. Then if we write the mole equation method for this, then answer will be mole of CaCO3 consumed divided by 2 its stoichiometric coefficient equal mole of CaO formed divided by its stoichiometric coefficient 2 equal mole of CO2 formed formed divided by 2. Next, find the stoichiometric mole equation method for this reaction. First, we have to balance this reaction. Here, 2 by heat and trial method. Remember, we have to balance a reaction by heat and trial method. There is no method to find the balancing of this reaction. Here, 2 NaOH react form Na2SO4. If we see there are 2 Na molecule, Na atom, there will be 2 NaOH. And there are H2O. This reaction is balanced. Then here 2 H2O is formed. So mole of NaOH divided by 2 equal mole of H2SO4 divided by 1 equal mole of Na2SO4 formed divided by 1 equal mole of H2O divided by 2. So there is a general method to write mole equation method. Suppose if A amount of A reacted to form with B amount of B and form C amount of C and D amount of D, then what will be the mole equation method for this? This is the stoichiometric coefficient. This is the stoichiometric coefficient A, B, C and D. Please write down first. Then mole of A by A equal mole of B by B equal mole of C by C equal mole of D by D. This is the general way of writing a mole equation method. So we have to remember this stoichiometric ratio and we have to write the answer in this way. So with this we ended today. Thank you.